Today I'm doing a double CEX trip with one game that I'm intending on getting from Canek CEX. It has been a while since I've been to Canek CEX. It is a decently rare PS3 game. It's technically two games in one. It's a collection. It's a remake or remaster. And possibly, when I say the best remake of all time, I don't mean it in terms of the game itself is the best remake. I mean the way that they went about doing it. You'll see when we get there. There's only about 4 or 5 of them in the entirety of CEX's stock. Let's hope it's in good condition, because sometimes this store doesn't have the best condition. But it's also been about a month since I've had a haircut, so we're going to go into town, get my haircut, we're going to go to the local CEX, have a look what they've got, because I think it's been about 2 weeks since I've been into Stafford CEX now, so maybe there's some new stuff. I don't know, we'll have to have a look. So order of operations is if I leave soon, we'll go Stafford CEX, go get my haircut, get on the motorway, assuming the motorway is not down, which, you know, it always is. Over to Canek CEX, get the rare game, see what else they've got in Canek, because sometimes they're pretty good. And, yeah. Let's go see the dog, shall we? Because she needs to go for a wee before I leave the house. Ruby has a new game that she likes to play. Watch this. Come here, Rubes. Come here. She jumps with the intention of being caught. Oops. Oops. Hello. Hello. You're a good girl. I'm a bit ill, can you hear? Here she is. Here she is. Hello. You're a good girl. You've been a good girl today, you didn't wake me up. I'm home alone, Neve's at work. She doesn't go out to work very frequently. And, what was I saying? Yeah, she doesn't go out to work very frequently, but when she does, it means that you have to sleep in a little bit. Because Ruby has a bit of a habit of waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, don't you, Rubes? It's not good. Sleep in. Be a sleepy dog. Okay, let's head off. This is the first time that my car's been used in a while. My car doesn't get used very frequently, because we have 2 of the same car, and whichever car's on the back is the one that just gets used most, and typically that's the other one. You know, I was about to say that the weather's getting better now. It's still only about 7 degrees. 3 more degrees and we're into t-shirt weather. Once we're into t-shirt weather, that's when my seasonal depression gets to leave me alone for a little bit. Until then, we're stuck. Calories are low today and I'm going to be out for a few hours. There's a decent chance I end up getting attacked by pigeons, Jesus Christ. A decent chance that I end up getting something from McDonald's. I don't know. Good old mayo chicken. Granted, they cost a fortune compared to what they used to. Into CEX we go. Something is different in this CEX today, and it took me a little while to work out what it is. I felt like I was being overbeared upon. Also, check this out. Back to the Future, 65 quid PS4 game on the shop floor. That is a game that I would like to get. Granted, it's expensive. I'm thinking maybe I'll get the PS3 version, who knows, because I think the PS3 version is like 30. It's definitely like half the price. But it is strange to me that that is on the shop floor. I'd be willing to bet it's not supposed to be there. And in fact, by the time I do this voiceover, I bet it's been moved because the TikTok version of this has already been up for a few days. But yeah, people steal cases for expensive games all the time. And if CEX have to reprint a cover, then people that buy games that are that expensive, like collectors, ain't going to buy it. It's like in Birmingham, all the bloody reprinted God of War collections, especially the 80 quid one. Only people that collect games are buying those, and if it's been reprinted, they're not buying it. It's massive. It's mental. But it'd be interesting to take a look at the name on the sticker, because I reckon I could guess. Because I can tell you exactly who it isn't. For example, Afro Samurai, I could do with a case for that. I've got the game, I just don't have the correct art. So like, if I was one of the nitties that do that, could walk in here and walk out with that. Problem solved. For a semi-expensive PS3 game. Played through that the other day, actually, Afro Samurai. It was a lot harder than I remember it being, and I remember it being pretty hard towards the end. But we got it done. Another one of my childhood games ticked off. I'm still ill, by the way. This voiceover is being recorded, I don't know, 4 days after this was actually filmed, and I'm still, like, sniffly. It's been a rough week. I don't get ill, except for when I do. Which, you know. Anyway, that Terminator game that you can see right in front, Terminator 3, I remember I got bought that from a car boot sale and it never worked. and I hid the fact that it never worked because I felt like I was going to get in trouble. It was not my fault. I didn't buy it, and it was from a car boot. Okay, hair has been cut. I popped home. Now it's off to Canuck. That £65 Back to the Future on PS4 is something that I do want. It's a Telltale game, like the Walking Dead games and Wolf Among Us. Weird that that's on the shop floor when there's way cheaper games behind the glass at CEX, Stafford. I'd be willing to bet that that does not stay on the shop floor and that was a mistake. But also shout out to the dude that tried to speak to me at the end on my way out, and I didn't have very long because I had to go get my hair cut within 5 minutes of leaving, so apologies for that. But yeah, anyway, off to Canuck now. Traffic seems good. Ruby's behaving. Let's go. All right, just arrived at Asda Canuck, which is where I always park. And first time in a while, I think that I've come to Canuck and it not being dark. Granted, it might be by the time we leave. Although, the whole way here, I had a learner on a motorbike behind me. And it makes me wonder, right, is there a time limit that somebody can be a learner on a motorbike for? Because I feel like some dudes just keep the L plates forever. I know that there's a limitation on, like, how powerful a bike you can ride with an L plate. But when you're seeing, like, 45-year-old men with L plates on their motorbikes, it does make me wonder, have they always had the L plate? Is it a recent hobby? Or do they just not care to try to pass the test because they don't need a faster bike? I don't know. I see a motorbike in my future. I do. Because I think they look fun. And I feel like it's an inevitability, you know? Oh, but what if you die? Good. Into the second CEX of the day we go. Alrighty then, CEX number 2. This one typically has some steelbooks. For 360 in particular. It's weird, right? Stafford never, ever has steelbooks. Besides Dragon's Dogma 2, I don't think I've ever seen another steelbook in my local CEX. Every steelbook I've got has come from either eBay or other CEXs. Maybe a lot of them, I think a decent chunk of them from Canuck. But in general, I think mostly eBay. I don't know, they just don't seem to be traded in. Like, right there's a Dead Rising 1 steelbook, which I am tempted by, because Dead Rising 1 is a great game. But I also know that if I was to get the steelbook for the second one, it would have to be on a different system, because I would want it on PS3. But Dead Rising 1, the original version of it anyway, is trapped to the 360. Dead Rising has got such a weird history with exclusivity. Dead Rising 3 is trapped, like trapped for the Xbox Series X and Xbox One. No releases anywhere else. I don't know if it got released on PC. It might have done, to be fair. But it's definitely not on any of the PlayStations. But check this out. Bloodborne and Bloodborne Game of the Year Edition is literally double the price for the DLC. It's crazy, because the DLC is probably like £3 on the store. Hopefully it's on the disc and not a code, because that'd be diabolical if they sold it £30 and it's a code. So basically you're paying £30 for a different front cover, because it wouldn't work. Is this a steelbook? It is not. Whenever I see a slipcover like that, I always get my hopes up that it might be. Evolve, if I was to see it on, I think it's got a PlayStation version. I think it has a steelbook. It is a game that I would get, but wouldn't get the regular version of. It's like when I got Back for Blood on PS5 for a steelbook. Also, I'm getting very tempted by boxed Pokemon. I reckon at some point in the future I might do a series where I begin to collect boxed Pokemons. Maybe in the new tax year. Got to get past April 1st. But yeah. Mission success, although it's now bloody cold. It still says 5 degrees, but 5 degrees now versus 2 hours ago feels dramatically different. When I were a kid / teenager, I didn't get cold. I mean, I was also fat, but yeah. Alright, let's go home. And now, definitely not days later since that last clip, we're going to Tesco. We're going to my old house, the one that I lived in for like 18 years, because Neve has had some sort of post.
My friend put the wrong address on a card.
Yeah, it's not like we moved 3 years ago. That's one tall mother. Yes. Speed.
I will run you over.
I wouldn't. I mean, it would be funny. But what else? And then we're going to get food. And at some point I'll show you what game
smell
I bought.
Pepe's?
Well, there is a Pepe's like back there.
No, no,
Literally, that's a Pepe's.
No, but like that smell that I can smell that smells like nice food. Do you reckon it's Pepe's?
Does food near a food shop called Pepe smell like Pepe's?
Shut up, you know what I mean?
If I have a poo on the floor and put it next to your fingers, do I go and go, oh, sniff my fingers? Does it smell like poo? Is it poo? No, it's fruity, innit? So, Neve has had a burger and chips from a place called Timmy's.
A smash burger.
It's
supposed to be a smash burger.
It's not a real smash burger, it's just flat.
Chips.
And I've got my anemic chips, which is why, even though it comes in a box, I have a value box, and I have them separate the chips into their own box.
Oh, it's like a Nutella milkshake.
And she's got a Nutella milkshake. Because now I'm going to put them chips in the air fryer to actually crisp them up. Because, for some reason, it is an epidemic where no one can cook chips for long enough anymore. Like, surely it's just a case of leaving them in the air fryer a bit longer.
The actual fryer, not the air fryer.
In the real fryer, yeah. Ooh.
Can you go put my thing in the fridge, please?
Hang on. Yay.
Lobster.
Yay.
Oh, it's all wet.
This is what I'm saying is, why do they put the sauce on the chicken and not the doner meat? And now Ruby wants her food too. Sit. You gotta look me in the eye. Eyes. Okay. Sausage. What have you done?
She sat on some more of it. I can see it underneath her.
Have you been naughty?
Look at all of this. It's come out of bed.
Destroy your bed, Ruby. You won't have a bed.
It's come.
Bed is not toy. You've got enough toys. You know you've been naughty because you don't want to come out of bed now.
Come on.
You know you want it. Okay then, let me show you what I got from Narnia CEX or Canex CEX. I don't know what I called it last time, it's been a few days. Decently rare game, probably one of the best remakes of all time. We have got The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition Collection. So, this is a complete ground-up remake, remaster, whatever, of Monkey Island 1 and 2. Arguably, the only two that actually bloody matter. It's interesting, right? When I play games, I don't usually like puzzles. Usually puzzles in games that I play tend to be in games that are otherwise action-based games and just serve to break up the action. But I don't want the action to be broken, or I want more action. For example, the Tomb Raider trilogy I've just played through. The second and the third Tomb Raiders in the reboot trilogy have got way too much not action in compared to the first game. Specifically compared to the first game. I'm not saying compared to like the other ones, whatever. If you've ever played the original God of War games, God of War 1, 2 and 3, you'd be surprised just how many puzzles are in those games as well. So I'm not typically a puzzle kind of person. Something that me and my partner used to do, or Neve I guess, is when there'd be a puzzle she'd come and do it because she likes puzzles. Anything like that. Like, it's not that I can't do it, it's that it's more fun for her to do it, so I let her do it. Anyway, Monkey Island games, they're only puzzles, but I do like games like this. The only four that I can think that I've played that are like this, like point-and-click adventure puzzle games, Monkey Island 1 and 2, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and Toonstruck. I love that style of game, and there's not many of them. And this was such a good remake because at any given point, you can press a button and make it look the way it looked on its original release. And yeah, they are backwards compatible on Series X. I think they might even be on Game Pass if you wanted to actually go and play them without spending a ton of money. Then yeah, they're just good games. So I'm happy to have it on PS3. I don't know if it's any good on PS3. I presume it's about as good as it is on Xbox. It can't exactly be a very demanding game to play. But yeah, on the topic of you'd be surprised how many puzzles are in otherwise very action-heavy games, Devil May Cry is the same. Devil May Cry 4 and that dice puzzle. If you know, you know. Anyway, I suppose that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be on the lookout for something cool to go and get. I think at this point the CEX videos are definitely like a weekly thing for the moment. They might become more frequent as the weather gets better and I'm going out the house more, but right now there's just not that much that I'm after. I just keep finding like cool stuff to go and get. And we go and get the cool stuff like each week. See you in a bit.